I have some of the hand-ins already. People have written out some questions ahead of time while they were waiting, and they gave them to me. Thank you. Now it gets a little bit more difficult for the members here. We're going to ask them to answer which, if someone likes to raise their hand and say, I'll answer that, or none of these are directed to any one person. So, here we go. How do you believe we can fix Field's financial problems while bringing back educational programs that our kids are missing out on? How many folks here are trained in finance, etc., and budgeting? Carl, you just finished. Do you have any comments?
Sure. I mean, really it boils down to, in the end, we have to identify how much revenue is coming into the schools. Okay, that's going to be a set amount of money of the funding that we're going to receive. Within that, we need to figure out how to optimize and utilize that money to the best of its ability. So we need to look at the curriculum. You're limited in how many dollars you can spend. That's a given. So you need to look at the curriculum and decide how you can maximize and get the best curriculum for the dollar spent.
Any questions on that question? Or that? Next. For all candidates, you want us to hire you to run our $16+ million school system. What is your business experience, such as hiring, firing, making payrolls, telling employees we can't afford raises? That's not right. Anyone like to touch on that one?
You know, back to the last question, I agree with Carl. I think we need to sit down and see the finances that we have, where it's going. Is it best suited for helping the kids or not? Where is the money being spent? I mean, with a $20 million budget, that's a lot of money. We need to figure out where waste is, cut back. As an employer, I know that good employees make for a good business, and I know good teachers make for good schools. I'm all for paying teachers well, but we need to find out, and I don't know where all the money goes. You know, we need to sit down and find out and prioritize it, like Carl said, and cut out the waste. And then with these levies, I think if the community sees that we're doing good with what we have, and they can trust us with what we have, I think it will be easier to pass a levy. Right now, the community is pretty upset. Everybody has had bad economic times. And, you know, I understand as an employer, people are hurting, they don't have money, they don't want their taxes to go up. My guys look at their paychecks, and it's ridiculous how much taxes are taken out of there. We pay off our homes, and then we still have, you know, to work just to pay our property taxes and everything else. So we need to earn the trust of the community, and then if we still need a levy after all this, I believe if the community trusts us and we go to them with a sensible levy, we can get it passed. But if they don't trust us and we're not good with the money they've been trusted with us now, we won't get a levy. And I hear that all the time. What was the last question? Okay.
This one is really succinct, and it deals with the same issue. For all candidates, your ideas on how to bring finances more into balance without increasing taxes. How about somebody different? One example of that?
Well, I think one of the first things we need to do is, we can bring in, let's say we bring in $1 million, and then we turn around and we send in 20 students to Kent Roosevelt or Modular for a variety of reasons, whether it's sports or certain academic programs that we don't have, but we just lose money. We lose about $5,000 or $6,000 per student at least. When you look, I think last count I heard was 199 students left. That's a lot of money. And so until we stop that outflow, we can't really sit here and say, well, this is what we're going to do with our money, because we're bringing in an amount over here, and it's escaping out the back door. Because really, what schools have become is they become like traveling softball teams. Parents are going to send their kid to where it's best for them and their kid. And we need to make feel where it's best for their kids to go.
By the way, this was written for all candidates to give a response. I'll read it again. Your ideas on how to bring finance more into balance without more taxes. We've heard from you, and we've heard from you.
Well, I would agree with Steve in what he just said, that we're really in a bind right now because of all the cuts we've had over the past several years. And parents they are not willing to sacrifice that to keep their kids here with all of the negative tone that has surrounded our schools for the past 3+ years and the cuts that have taken place. That's where we're kind of in the catch-22, where yes, we need to show you that we will be fiscally responsible with what you entrust us with, but we most definitely need to stop losing our students to other districts, because the one is going to start outweighing the other very soon, and we're not going to be able to make up that district. It is a competitive business just like every other business out there, and without students in the district, the more we lose, the more we pay out, the more that morale is changed with regard to what we have to offer. We lose more students. My neighborhood is a perfect example. I have many young families in my district who their students are already out of our district. And I have spoken with them because I've had my daughter in this district for 10 years. She's a junior in high school, and there's many good things that she's gotten out of it. However, when you have 2 AP classes in the high school, it's extremely difficult to get students to want to stay here. And when they're going into high school and they want to play a sport because that helps them to have another fulfillment in their life, they declare their eligibility the first time they play. So if they practice the summer going into their 9th grade year, that means they're at that school. So a lot of people are making the decisions 7th and 8th grade if they're going to continue on in our high school. So I do totally understand and hear what you're saying about we've entrusted you and you don't feel that you trust the board. We need to figure out a way how to bring some things back, turn the conversation, earn your trust, have you communicate with us, have us listen to you and show you that yes, we do hear you and we don't want to just go and spend and spend and spend, but there's got to be a balance. We have to start attracting students and keeping students here.
I'll pretty much reiterate what they're saying. We need to bring the AP classes back. That's going to retain students. The more students we retain, that I think it's $5,600, $5,700 a student, that comes back to us. We build off of that. We bring two classes back. The following year, maybe we bring another one back. I don't know how much the current board has looked at alternative funding. I don't know if we have a grant writer, shame on me. There's grants out there. Have we gone after every single grant? I know I'm not supposed to talk about a levy, but we haven't had new money since 1991. I think was the last actual levy that our district passed. So I think we need a spark to get the school moving, and then that'll give the new board a chance to get in there, go through all the books, see where we're at, see what we need, see what we can bring back, and how we can build upon that. After this levy, yeah, we should look at every single alternative funding out there. We should look at every single thing that we can keep within the house to keep our students here.
Anything else? Anyone else want to add anything? By the way, I want to mention that if your question hasn't been asked, or if you've written your question, at the end of our time, there will be a little bit of time left to ask questions, okay, orally. You can ask them orally. We found out that it works the other night when Ed had one down in Southville with the township trustees. The last one, not the last one, this one is for all candidates.